There's a meme floating around the internet that goes, "My greatest fear is that when I die, my wife is going to sell my guns for what I told her I paid for them." It's no kidding, hunting gear can be expensive, and there's always an appetite to buy more, but you don't need the contents of Cabelas in the back of your truck just to bring home meat. On the next couple episodes, we're going to cover the basics of gear that every hunter does need, and we're kicking it off with clothing. Up next. I'm your host, Evan. Welcome to Hunting Lessons. Welcome to Hunting Lessons. This is the first of many episodes where we're going to cover what you need to know this season. So go ahead and subscribe down below so you don't miss any of that future content, and it really does help this channel out. When I started hunting, I used a mix of pieces that I pulled out of my barrack box along with a few others that I picked up at the local outdoor store. But being new to hunting, I didn't know what I didn't know, and I figured, hey, it's camo, let's give it a whirl. But it quickly became apparent that the gear I was using had some serious functional limitations that were getting in the way of my success. Trying to spot and stalk deer wearing Army Gore-Tex pants is not a great idea unless you like the sight of whitetails bounding off in the opposite direction. Also, trying to cover ground in a jacket that doesn't breathe well is a recipe for, at best, getting wet and at worst, hypothermia. My early lessons learned was that there's no point in buying a piece of gear that doesn't do everything that I need it to do. Price spread of hunting equipment on the market is huge. And as you go up in that spread, typically you improve on quality and functionality. There's an adage that you buy nice or you buy twice. And while I don't think that only top of the line kit is going to work, I personally like to pick up pieces of gear that have been well reviewed, are tried and tested, that I can afford, and that I know have all the functionality that I'm looking for. In the past, I've picked up gear and then later realized there's functionality gaps with that gear, and ultimately I did end up buying twice. So price point and functionality aside, if you take one thing from this video, remember the most versatile hunting clothing system is one that uses layers. I've been on a lot of frigid army exercises, and I can speak from experience that at minus 56, and that's minus 69 for my American friends, a good layering system will keep you warm, dry, and comfortable. So, what kind of layering am I talking about? So I focus on three key layers. So the first is a base layer or next to skin layer, the second is a mid layer or insulating layer, and your third is a waterproof and breathable shell. The versatility of layering is that those pieces are going to allow you to add or subtract throughout the day based on changes in weather and changes in your level of activity. Those adjustments in your layers are going to allow you to moderate your temperature and control moisture levels from perspiration. Now, if you go for a thick parka and bib pants, that might be suitable for sitting in a deer blind later in the season, but you can achieve the same effect from a good layering system. And that system would also be suitable to get you from bow season in late August to your later season hunts in January and February. So let me show you what I've settled on that works for me. I'll put some links in the video description, and you can take a look if you want to find out more about any of these pieces. For base layer, I'm a big fan of merino wool, and that's because even if it gets damp, it still keeps you warm. My go-to for a base layer is this Arcteryx quarter zip. Now, it's kind of pricey, and you can find some more reasonably priced pieces of merino if you look around. Synthetics are another good option. I've got some nice polypro quarter zips and base layers that I like to use as well. Whatever you do, avoid cotton as a base layer. Cotton sucks up the moisture and just holds it against your skin. Now, if it's a warm night early on in September, I might just throw on a technical top and sit out in that for bow hunting. For a mid layer, depending on the day, I might end up wearing one or two layers. Typically, I'm going to wear this piece. This is my Arcteryx Atom LT jacket, and it really is one of the most versatile pieces that I own. Now, this jacket's great for hunting, skiing, or standing on a train platform on your way to work. If it's a really cold day, though, I might end up throwing on a fleece as a second layer of insulation. But if I'm going to be moving around a lot through the day, what I typically find is that shortly after leaving the truck, one of those mid layers is coming off. For a shell, I've been wearing the Cabelas rain suede jacket and pants. Now, I found this to be fairly reliably waterproof and breathable. And what I like about this is, as a lanky 6-foot tall guy with a 34-inch inseam, the Cabelas tall line fits me really, really well. Now, I've tried on a lot of other jackets in the past, and the ones that fit me well in the body are usually ending up halfway up the sleeve, and I don't have that problem with the Cabelas tall camo line. And one other thing I like about it, it's a lot lighter than what you'd see in a Realtree Extra type pattern. Has a lot less green, and that's better suited to what I do for Western hunting. So that's my clothing solution. So by layering up or layering down, that gear gets me from late August right into the new year. Now if you focus your buying on pieces of gear that are going to work both individually and as part of a layering system, that's going to give you the most bang for your buck as well. Over the next couple episodes, we're going to cover footwear, accessories, packs, and pack content. So thanks again for joining me on Hunting Lessons. Until next time, keep learning.